Hey, good morning, guys. We are gonna take a break. Oh, looks like we got someone in heat. We're gonna take a break from grazing this front 2.5 acres up by the house. I'm gonna walk them next door to the planted 2-acre field over there. I want to get that grazed off before I lose any more good grazing, good forage, the nutrients out of that stuff. Those summer annuals, now that they have died from frost and freezing, it seems like every day I don't get it grazed, they diminish a little bit more. So cows are obviously hungry and they're waiting to go. So I need to get them. I'm going to get them in this little trail area, kind of hold them there for a bit. I set up the temporary perimeter fence yesterday, so I need to double check that deer or anything like that didn't run through it overnight. So yeah, let's get them moved, and then we'll walk them over there. Hey, girls. Come here, girls. Good mama. Hey, girls. Got my protein bucket just to keep them coming in here. Come on, kids. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Hey, let's go. Come on. Come on, mama. Come on. Come on. Nope, you're not coming back through. Hey, no, you're not coming back through. Of course, I picked a day when I can't tell if one of them's in heat or two of them's in heat. But that always gets everyone all riled up, harder to manage. Hey. Hey. Stay calm, dude. Good boy. Yeah, good mama. Don't even say, mama. Hey. Easy, kids. We're going straight. We're not turning. Go straight, buddy. Good job. Hey. Come on, kids. Hey, girls. Hey, girls. Good buddy. Come on, girls. Come on, girls. Good mama. Hey, girls, come on. Good girl. Come on, mama. There you go. Good kiddo. Good mama. What do we got? One more? Hey. Come on, 3. Come on. Good mama. Keep going. Good mama. All right, let's see if they actually eat any of this stuff. I feel like the last time I put the herd in here, I had the oldest, the 2-year-old, the yearling in heat, and she's the one that's escaped before. So it always figures that when I put them into an area with no real good perimeter fence, I've got girls in heat that are gonna try whatever it takes to get out and go look for a date, but I guess we'll deal with that if it happens. Yeah, so as you can see, this stuff is super brown. You know, I apologize if you've heard all this before, but I seem to have a lot of new viewers quite frequently. So just a quick, what a goof. So just a quick update. This is just a little 2-acre farm field. I planted it in the spring, late spring, unfortunately, but I planted it in the late spring, early summer with kind of like a warm season annual mix. The idea was to have this be their grazing spot during the summer slump. So all the other pastures that I either own or lease are cool season forages. Those obviously start to, the regrowth shuts down, you know, in the middle of summer. So I wanted some really good, high quality feed for them to go on to during the summer months. This was kind of a test year. I wasn't sure exactly what I should plant, but the idea is that either the entire herd or just the steers, the finishing animals, if I'm gonna finish out a heifer or not, that they will come on here during the summer in anticipation for getting processed heading into fall. So again, you know, trying to grass finish beef, you really want to keep as much protein and energy going into those animals, especially those last few months before they're processed. Think about it like graining an animal, right? So you are pumping grain, small amounts of grain into those animals that are getting ready to go to the processor to add that intermuscular fat or that marbling. When you're grass finishing, you're trying to do the same thing. You're just not using grain. So the whole idea was to plant, again, high energy, high protein forages that will grow a lot of fat on those animals as they head into the last few months of their life. I got this planted super late. I lost out on about 2 good weeks of rain, and I just didn't have the moisture I needed when I got this stuff in the ground finally to make it really pop. The other issue I came up with was, you know, I've talked about it before, where once you get your animals inseminated, so we do artificial insemination on this ranch, whether that's, you know, via a bull or via AI, once that breeding has happened, you don't want to be hauling your animals about 24, 48 hours max after that. And then again, you don't want to be hauling them for about 90 days. That just, the stress of hauling them, especially if they're going to an unfamiliar area, just increases your chance of spontaneous abortion or, you know, slipping a calf, just making it harder to get bred. So because AI costs a good amount of money, I wanted to have the best chance possible for those girls to actually get pregnant. So by the time I got the cows on here, by the time the stuff was ready to graze and I got the herd, the girls on here, I only had about a week before they went to the breeder. After the breeder, because I knew I was gonna be stuck, wherever I took them after the breeder, I was gonna be stuck for 90 days. This is what they do too when they get excited, and I've seen them just run right over fences before because they're so pumped. So I really hope they don't take off. They've been in here before. Again, it was only a week, so I hope they're not going to be as confused or crazy, but they just love having a big area to run around in. Oh boy. Please, nobody go over the fence. Hey, calm down, kids. Come on. Calm down, buddy. Jeez, come on, guys. Hey, bud. Good buddy. Hi. can you calm them down for me, please? You all have been in here before. Now, when you take off running to go catch up with them, please don't kick. So I knew wherever I took them, they were gonna have to be there for at least 90 days. Well, I wasn't gonna get 90 days out of this 2-acre planted farm field. So they had to go to summer lease pasture basically and stay there for the rest of the summer heading into fall. That was another mistake, that by the time I got the cows on this 2-acre farm field, they only had a week before they had to go to the breeder. So I had a ton of forage that had not been eaten. So I mowed it all down just to see what my regrowth was going to be like. I got some decent regrowth, but then what happened is when you get into these summer annuals, you run into frosting and freezing with these sorghums, which unfortunately the majority of the stuff that actually took, I planted a whole variety. I think it was, 18, 19 way species. Unfortunately, the majority of the stuff that actually took and grew was this sorghum. And so every time a sorghum plant frosts or freezes, it produces prussic acid, which could lead to cyanide poisoning. It could lead to nitrate poisoning. So I just had to be really careful about when I was going to be able to graze this stuff. I had a good question from a viewer the last time I brought this up, where he stated, is it possible that the other forages on this field could offset the possible nitrate poisoning and prussic acid poisoning? And that was a great point. They always say that when it comes to trying to stop your animals from bloating or from getting some sort of issue with their feed, the solution is dilution. So, dilute it with other forages. Like I said, unfortunately though, there wasn't enough other stuff on this field that regrew that I would feel comfortable would be enough to dilute the issues that grazing freshly frosted, freshly frozen sorghums would have caused. Once this stuff starts to freeze and frost, you have like a 7-day withdrawal period where those nitrates, the prussic acid, will dissipate from the plant in about 7 days, after 5 to 7 days after that frost freeze. The issue was it was very patchy. So it's not like the whole field frosted or froze one night and then I started my 7-day countdown. I had a patch of 7-day countdown here, a patch of 7-day countdown there, a patch of 7-day countdown there. So it ended up being an extremely long window that I wanted to keep the animals off of this just to make sure that they were safe. So everything is brown and dead now, as you can see. So I feel like we are safe to graze. There's a handful of the nitrates that really can cause problems. Unfortunately, stays in the base. It's the accumulation of the most nitrates is in the base of these sorghums. So I still have some green bases around here, but I think every plant is dead. It's amazing. Just in a week and a half after we finally had a 28-degree night, just in a week and a half, this stuff all browned out and it shrunk. And it's just kind of, you can see, it's just kind of like a wet noodle. But I'm glad they're eating it. That was one thing I was worried about, is that the girls weren't even going to find this stuff appealing. And I actually, getting ready to bring them over here a few days ago, I pulled a few plants out of the ground, took them over there and fed them to them in their grass pasture just to make sure that they were actually going to be palatable. So yeah, I think we're all right. Obviously I will be extremely upset if I end up killing my entire herd from prussic acid poisoning. So throughout this field, some of the stuff that either continued to grow or has grown back after I mowed it, I've got a lot of kale, rapeseed, a lot of brassicas. Unfortunately though, they didn't seem to be too keen on this when I brought over a bunch of different leaves for them, just to test out to see if they'd eat it. Everyone ate this dead sorghum, but they didn't touch the green the green brassica leaves, and it sounds like, I don't know how they figure this out, talk to the cows I guess, but it sounds like when this stuff frosts and freezes, it gets pretty bitter, it gets pretty waxy, and I guess it's pretty bitter. So it's going to be the last thing they eat if they eat it at all. In fact, I haven't even been seeing the deer eat this stuff. So this is stuff that will survive deeper into winter. You know, if the cows don't end up eating it, whatever, it'll just turn into deer feed and kind of help the other ungulates in the area get through winter, as long as it doesn't get covered up by snow. There are turnips in here as well. And what's the other root, the other tuber type? Turnips and I can't find any right now. Radishes, turnips and radishes. So I did do turnips and radishes as well. The tops of those plants, kind of the same thing. When they get frosted, frozen, they get waxy, they get bitter. I don't know if the cows are gonna be eating that stuff, but like I said, turnips, radishes, the leaf tops, and the actual turnip and radish underground that'll work its way up in the soil as the ground starts to freeze will feed the deer. It will feed the wildlife, and you know, that stuff actually is kind of a natural compaction breaker. It doesn't go super deep into the ground, but that big ball root of a turnip or a radish, you know, sitting 6 inches under the ground, that works its way up, ends up actually kind of doing some natural tillage. So there's a benefit to that as well. Here we go. Here's one. This is I think this is a turnip, right? Turnip, maybe it's a radish. There's a couple here. All right, guys, that's it. They're obviously eating, so I better get power on the wire, better get their minerals over here, and I need to get the water filled. Hopefully my next video isn't, you know, 11 black and red dots laying dead in a field, right, Mama? So yeah, fingers crossed that I'm not slowly killing my cattle right now. But if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks about anything that you saw, like always, leave them down below and I'll get back with you. And if you haven't found us on Instagram yet, check us out at WR_ranch. It's a little bit easier to keep up with the day-to-day on that Instagram page. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we will catch you at the next one.